was it was a 3-year plan. And part of that 3-year plan was me preaching over and over again process versus outcome. I do not care, and I still don't care, if everything goes well and my athletes miss. So, good pass, good set, athlete gets there, hits a ball, it's the right shot, line is open, and it goes out by an inch. Great swing. Great swing. And I told our girls all the time, get your feet there, jump as high as you can, and hit every ball. And that's from 17U, 18U. I can teach someone to tip in half an hour. I can teach someone to roll in 2 practices. But what I can't do is I can't take an 18U athlete who's got tip on their mind and get them to swing with the last 5 points when their season or the set's on the line. That's a really hard mindset to get out of. So when I coach younger ages, tipping is not even something we allow in the gym. If the ball's over your head, you don't bump it over. Okay, we talk about red light, green light, yellow light. Red light basically means like, okay, desperation time, I gotta do something to get this ball over the net. I'm diving, it's low, I gotta bump it over, whatever. Yellow light, I'm not gonna be able to get a good swing, but I can get my feet there, I can look, I can reach high, I can roll it, put the team in trouble. And green light is on anything that you can get your feet there and take a big rip. And it's funny, and I know other coaches know this, and I know when coaches play my teams, they say, don't even worry about the tip, because they're not gonna do it. And it's true, at a younger ages, my teams will not tip. And if they do tip, it's by accident. And even if they got the point, I'm like, don't tip. Because tipping, while an offensive weapon later in life, totally agree, at a younger age, tipping becomes the ball you do when you don't want to make a mistake. And I've watched numerous finals at the national level, provincial level, wherever, and the game is in the 3rd set, and after 10 points, you might not see a swing. You might see a halfway roll shot. And what I thought was interesting is the 2 teams that were left at the end of nationals this year, the Titans from Ontario and us, talking to their coach after the game, we actually had a similar mentality. And when they beat us in 3 in a tight game on day 2, both teams were swinging till the end of the match. And when we beat them in 3 to win the national title, both teams were swinging on the end of the match. And their middle on the last set got a good set, and she took a rip, and my middle just blocked her. But I don't think she would do anything differently. And I don't think the coach would tell her to do anything differently. So there's too much, I think we put too much emphasis on getting points and not enough emphasis on doing things right. And that is what I've been preaching for a long time. So as a coach, the hardest thing in the world to do, I was coaching 15 U boys in North Van, and a parent came to me after the game and said, hey Seymour, we need to talk. I just want you to know that your body language on the bench is not good. And I was like, oh, never really thought of that. So happened to be somebody had recorded the game, so I sat down and I watched my body language. And every time one of our guys would go back and miss a serve, I'd head in the hands, I'd stare at the ground, I'd throw my arms up and be mad. That kid didn't try to miss the serve, he's trying to put the serve in. Right? So that is, I'm getting mad about an outcome. Where what I should be doing is watching the process. Why did he miss his serve? Was he nervous? Okay, now we need to have a talk about that. Did he not toss it high enough? Was it a great serve and he just missed it? I'm a high school math and science teacher. In physics, there's a principle called the Bernoulli effect. Air moving around a non-moving, non-spinning sphere goes randomly in all directions. That's why a float serve works. You can hit the same serve 2 times in a row. One time it floats, falls in. The next time it stays up and goes out. The problem with volleyball, and the problem with volleyball players and volleyball coaches, those 2 serves are identical out of your hand. The randomness of physics and the air in the gym and the temperature made one ball go in and one ball go out. So most of the time you go back, oh man, I got to get that in. No, that's a great serve. Because next time it's in. Right? So sometimes we get really upset about these little tiny mistakes. And I was doing that as a coach. So took a long time, but I trained myself. And I moved all of my body language to my toes because I'm an expressive person. So everything is in my feet. So I wear socks out sometimes, but if anything goes wrong, I just scrunch my toes a little bit, but I keep basically this demeanor all the time. If you watch the national final on tape or any of the games in the final, I had a couple fist pumps, which are like as expressive as I get, and claps. Okay, so I'm really calm because I don't want my girls to recognize on my body language that I'm upset about outcome. Right? So I need them to believe and I need them to know that when I say process over outcome, I mean it. Because it's easy to say, and a lot of people say that. A lot of people say, well, I just want you to do things the right way, but then we get in a game and a kid jumps as high as they can, reaches high, hits OT down the line over the block, and the ball goes out by an inch, and coaches say, you got to hit that in. I say, do it again, that was awesome. Right? So they need to believe that they can play free. We play free and confident and believe that if we do the right things the right way, it will happen. And we've all lost games because of outcome. We've all lost games because some team got 3 tape snivellers. 22-22, girl goes back, 2 tape snivellers, 24-22, and then they need 1 more point and they win. At the end of that game, they got tape snivellers, we didn't. That's it, right? That's an outcome point. And sometimes we've all been in games. You just need to weather the outcome storm. Right? They hit a ball, totally mishit it. Off their forearm, fooms, lands in the back corner. Hey, coach, how do I dig that? You don't. It happens. Paintbrushes always score, right, girls? Full swing paintbrushes are 1,000%. How do I dig that? You don't. You hope that people can't paintbrush on command. If I could teach it, that would be the ultimate scoring weapon in volleyball, is the intentional paintbrush.